My sister had been married for 2 years, but still didn't have any children. My mom suggested I should have a baby for her. "Your sister once saved your life. Now it's time to repay her," she said. When my sister and her husband finally went to the hospital for a checkup, they discovered that her previous frequent miscarriages had left her unable to conceive. My mom was so distressed that she couldn't sleep or eat properly. I tried to console her. "Lots of young couples choose not to have kids these days. It's not the end of the world. Besides, sis seems okay. Don't stress yourself out over this," but my mom smacked my hand away, glaring at me. "It's easy for you to say. You're not the one who can't have kids." Her slap was heavy, leaving my hand numb. Feeling wronged, I didn't want to argue anymore and turned to leave. But she wasn't done. She followed me into my room, relentless. "You need to have a baby for your sister." Her face was deadly serious. There wasn't a hint of joking in her eyes. "We're family. Besides, you know your brother-in-law. He's not a stranger." I felt a shiver run through me, anger flaring up inside. My mom kept on talking. "Your brother-in-law said if they can't have a child, they'll get a divorce. You need to help your sister." I was shocked. If she can't have kids, she can get treatment, adopt, or even find a surrogate. Why should I have to do it? My mom was furious. "Adoption is not an option. He wants his own blood. And surrogacy is too expensive and complicated. You need to help your sister. Remember, she saved your life when you were kids. Without her, you wouldn't be here." I exploded. Here we go again, bringing up what happened 10 years ago. My sister and I were rollerblading when a drunk driver came at us. I didn't notice, but my sister did and pushed me out of the way. I barely avoided the car, but she wasn't as lucky. Her right leg was broken, blood everywhere, and she passed out. We rushed her to the hospital. My mom fainted from the shock, and I was devastated, feeling guilty and ashamed. Thankfully, my sister survived, though she was left with a limp. I swore to myself I'd always be good to her. She was the favorite, always doted on by our parents, which used to bother me. But after the accident, I didn't mind. I was willing to do anything for her. She never held that day over my head. She never asked for anything in return. She even cried in my arms once, saying she was just glad I was alive. I love my sister, but my mom has always been overprotective of her, almost to the point of madness. She worried about her being bullied at school, fretted over her health when she started working. I supported all of this unconditionally, but to ask me to have a child for her, that was too much. I began to wonder if I would ever be able to repay my sister, or if I would forever be in debt to her. Maybe I should just give her my life. My mom and I were like two wild animals ready to tear each other apart when my dad came home. My mom, thinking her ally had arrived, started crying and complaining about my sister's struggles and my ingratitude. I was so disappointed in her. This was the last straw. I yelled, "You tell me how much it costs to raise me and I'll pay you back. But I'm done. Don't ever contact me again." I stormed out after that. Later my dad called, crying, apologizing on behalf of my mom. He said they had wronged me over the years and begged me to take care of myself. That broke me. It was like I had been waiting to hear those words all my life. My sister called too, but I couldn't bring myself to answer. I didn't know how to face her, maybe even resented her a bit. If she hadn't saved me, if I had been the one to get hurt or worse, maybe it would have been my fate, and I wouldn't have to live with this guilt forever. My mom also apologized eventually, but I didn't believe her. She was apologizing just to make things right again, not because she truly felt sorry. That's it. I still love my sister and will help her when I can, but as for my mom, I'll keep my distance.